off to Seville to see our Spanish friends who we've not seen for 5 years. We're back in Spain visiting friends again. We're near Seville. We're in Alcalá de Guadiana. We've been here many times to visit our Spanish friends and really family now for sure. We've timed it again in fiesta time. Fiestas are the Three Kings. It's been going on every day, night and day. They love a party. Welcome to the vlog, but this one's from Spain. Join us on our walks. Beautiful countryside, towns, history, Roman empires. Enjoy. So we're here, our little tiny Fiat Panda hire car, hotel behind us. Look at this view. We're in Alcalá de Guadiana, I can't say it properly. Lovely little old church, I think, down there, little old buildings. We've walked down there many times with our friends, who we're looking forward to seeing very soon. Not bad. Oh yeah, look at the sky. Whoa. Lovely temperature, although there is rain in a few days apparently. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Beautiful. We're here. So this little church, it still does hold services and things. And I remember, I'm not religious, but I do like history and appreciate other people's religions and so on. And Elsie spoke to I think they might have been nuns, I don't know, but spoke to the people inside one year. And we got a full look round, and it's not tatty on the inside like it is old on the outside. So we got a little sneak preview in there. When you're in another country but you're not in a non-tourist area, unlike sort of that Brits abroad attitude, it's quite different. People are really friendly and kind and want to show off, you know, their part of the world and how they live and so on. It's quite interesting. I've just seen a snake about 2.5 foot long drop off of there. I was too bloody slow. It got in round the corner and disappeared. Anyway, look at that viewpoint. Hey, give us a wave. Hoopoe, one of my favourites. The culprit, the food bowl. I don't like cats, but not for their own sake. The fact that we bring them everywhere and turn them free to absolutely destroy native wildlife around the world. But I don't dislike them as an individual. If you love native reptiles, bird life and mammals, not good at all.
Beautiful, aren't they?
They are. So due to the recent-ish rains, they've gone down now. The river's gone down, but the recent rains. Hello, Jackie. It's very verdant. So, variety of weeds, wildflowers, invasive or non-invasive, non-natives. But the whole place is beautiful. Good time to come to Spain is actually sort of any time before, I guess, what we'd call late spring in the UK, because by then it's usually parched. Most of the flowers are gone over, and the landscape's looking a lot more desert-like in a lot of Spain. But winter, early spring, once that rain's sort of soaked into the ground, there's britches, that's not native. Once that rain's soaked into the ground, you do get that flush of greenery and some lovely, lovely flowers out in the countryside. So it's 9:45 in the morning. Last night's low was 3 degrees. I think in the UK it was -3, but it's not warm at night. Look how empty this place is. We're right on the edge of town, but we're up in like a parkland, so not in town. Look at that. Again, just a piece of the Spanish countryside. Isn't that a picture? If you're a photographer or an artist, you're going to spend a bit of time here making something out of that, I'm sure. And why is it quiet? Because as our Spanish friends say, and as they said to us last night, don't come round until 11. We'll go out at 11. It's too cold before then. These are people that live in the sun, and climate change has made their summers hotter and hotter for longer. Instead of August being the sort of 30-40 degree month, weeks of 40 degrees plus sometimes. This time of year in the morning, just like if you're a reptile, you're not going to come out just yet. You want that sun to rise. Mist on the water there. Beautiful. So we're going to take a little walk, like we're the only people on Earth along the Paseo here. It's like a national route they've installed a decade, or I think maybe a decade or two ago now. Taking in the river really, and different sites and historical sites along the way. In the summer you can see terrapins or turtles in the river. Viperine snakes swimming around, catching fish. Carp and barber in the river. Jesus tells me it's full of cangrejo rojos, or red-clawed crayfish in our terminology, causing the similar problems as they do in the UK. And the flow is slow. The rains have subsided. The river's gone back down, but apparently it was really, really high at these banks here. I've got to tell you, I'm a bit miffed that sort of our first hour or less around the hotel, around the river here, that we stumbled upon a snake. 100%, thought first viperine, but 100% horseshoe whip snake. Quite a common species in Spain. Don't look like a little baby corn snake even as hatchlings, but this was a decent sized male, I'd say. Quite slender, but they are long. I found them quite thick set, despite being called whip snakes. But yeah, really, really annoying that sort of happened across something like a snake, and I didn't react quick enough to get my hands on it so we could have a good look at it. The weather's meant to change after today, probably a bit cloudy. That'll make it cooler. That'll annoyingly end my chances, but we'll see what we see. see how high the water came, and you can also see, probably have the same trouble as the UK, water systems that can't cope, greedy people sucking the money out. Este es mi amigo Jesus, and a male peregrine he's bred here. He breeds very big peregrines. Females are huge with very, very big feet. And his sausage dog Tackle is saying hello. Beautiful. Peregrine, bred in Spain. Look at this. Now I do love being in the woodland, and I really love being near a river, but there is something about just, I say it all the time, but just the huge skies, the vastness in a lot of Spain. There's a red kite cruising around over there. We'll pick him up. Las Tres Brujas.
Eso digo yo, que cuando se hartan ya de cositas malitas y
Tengo mucho trabajo
me dan alguna alegría.
Exhibición afuera.
¿Y ustedes cómo estáis por ahí?
Partes de Inglaterra. Pero después COVID,
Los arreglos en la casa, igual como siempre, en todos sitios, la casa siempre necesitan sus arreglos.
Abiertamos,
Sí, claro.
Es el tema del agua, vamos a arreglar.
Health
Ah,
control,
muy bien.
fitness.
Y como el limón, el gancho,
Y como la ensalada de limón, le echan... Hay mucho. También hay...
These things march and usually eat things like destroy the pine trees. They march along in groups and they can give you a bit of a rash, to say the least, when they're bigger, maybe when they're now. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Buscan para comidas.
al árbol, busca el árbol.
Caca. Look at that for a view.
Anda por toda parte del cantil. Y ese camino que baja por ahí es el del otro cortillo. Este que hay aquí abajo. Ten cuidado que eso...
Urticario.
Urticario, sí. Wow.
Cabrones. Es que creo que los negritos son la cría que todavía no ha desarrollado la de esto.
Y no está en planta.
El color.
Sí.
El sitio. Y cuando van creciendo hacen lo que esta gente come.
So these processionary moth caterpillars, they're literally everywhere. And they are, as you've seen, in a procession in many places, moving from, I guess, one food source to the next. What a great day to be alive. There's no one here except us friends. And it's a shedded skin and they're changing colour as they grow. Wow. We're going to get blinded by the sun. So look at that. Whoa! So you've seen the terrain. To get a bird to flush cleanly, incredibly difficult, especially when a falcon's waiting on a bird. Oh, Jesus, the sun's so bright. Everyone's working, well, not me, working together. This is a proper team falconry. Human, dog, flushing, really working hard to get something to break cover cleanly. Remember, this is not a sparrowhawk, this is a longwing. Doesn't want to crash into cover. It wants to be able to, needs something out just a little bit in the open. So just going to get some more lift. Wow, that sun is in the wrong place. It's in the sky. So this is a tight team. They all know what's going on. This is a very small bird to film on the phone. So Rafa's, this is why this man who's a bit older than me is so fit. He's not just a spectator. This is proper team hunting. And these small birds and quail, you'd think, well, surely with a human there around that little baby palm, that palmito, that bird's going to flush. But it's safer in there than in the sky. Look at the bird. So when we're doing displays, I'll often tell people the bird is not the slave. The human is the slave to the bird. Our job is always trying to serve our birds the ability to catch their tea, to take game. Look how loyal the bird is though. Well, not now. He really, really knows where the action's coming from. And of course after, it's time for food. Spanish style. I think this is why we're really here. Mummy? Maybe. Family. It's always some kind of fiesta in Spain. And these guys are throwing sweets into the crowd. So the sat-nav's taken us back to our hotel via the Fiesta. I think someone's moved a roadblock to get home or something. So the roads are open, but this road should be shut. And we've been following a carnival throwing sweets into the road for the families and kids. You're not going to get past that in a hurry, are you? Bloody sat-navs. So remember last night when we got stuck behind the Fiesta? I can't remember what it's called. What are they called in English? No, those things. When we were kids, it went down the street.
Parade.
A parade, that's not what I'm thinking of, but that'll do. Well, we've not used our car today, we've been out with our friends. Look at this. How ridiculous. We just ran over thousands and thousands of sweets. They're literally coated the tires with sweets. Oh my god. So I'm out with Jackie and Elsie, those two. We're in a place called Itallica, and it's a place famous for its sort of Roman ruins, but we're trying to find Rafa. It's a Sunday morning, the dustbin men are out, but no one else. And we're not lost, but we can't find them. We found it. And then...
Un teatro.
Wow.
Abajo hacían las funciones de teatro.
So this is quite a new discovery compared to the other areas you can view here. Found when I was excavating or knocking down a building, I think. I discovered more Roman ruins. Rafa tells me this was pretty much the centre of sort of Rome for quite a while. I'm not a historian. Wow. So we're in Itallica, Roman ruins, really famous. They're certainly famous here. Now these guys here have entered for free because they live here, and if you're in the European Union, it's yours. But of course we're not in the European Union, so Jackie and I have had to pay, and we've had to pay a lot of money to access this site because we're not in the European Union. So think how much you'd pay to get into somewhere like this, all the work they've done, paying the staff in England, and then think how much we've had to pay to get in here to see this. £1. Well, a bit more, €1.50, because we're not in the European Union. Our friends told us not to speak because we'd have to pay, and then we realised it's like €1.50. Why are we so ripped off in the UK for everything? So as silly as it sounds, I also have a Ventolin inhaler. My friends here, one of them's got asthma as well, and they're 50%, there's 50% more in the bottom, if that makes sense. We just pay. Yeah, we've parked for free. That in itself's amazing. And we're walking around a place that's had probably millions of pounds spent on it. Wow. And it's just free. I'll take you around anyway. It's reminding me of a film. we were saying, you know, I know they didn't have electrical tools, but when we'll show you soon how the reconstructions of houses and rooms, you know, there's just people were the same as us in these times. They were the same as us in many ways. They lived the same. Some of the decor I've seen earlier, you'd have it in your house now. Wow. You know the film. Quite a full day then. Probably something historians, I guess, hooks you in if you're a historian, but probably more as well as if you're getting old like me. When you walk through somewhere like this, or maybe you hold something that's really old, you just think, wow, this was new once, packed with people. How many people walked through that archway there? How many people sat up there in the terraces watching people fight and mock hunting with animals, fighting with animals, God knows what. And I'll tell you something else. We'd say, how barbaric, how barbaric. Even now people say boxing should be banned, it's barbaric. But I tell you now, if your town centre held a hanging or fight to the death, it would be packed with people, because we like to think we're above all that, but certainly the masses of society, for sure, they'd all be there now filming it on their phones, which in some ways is pretty sad, but it does show, I don't think we've evolved a lot mentally. We've just evolved in technology. Maybe we've not evolved, we've changed our technology. Wow. Think how loud it would have been when it was all going on. An afternoon session of gladiators packed with people. I know this is a different vlog, but I'd just like to take you with me wherever Jackie and I go. Think of the man hours, probably were man hours, that went into just building this place. The mind boggles when you look at how stuff's thrown up now, concrete and steel. All those rocks have been put there.
Son baños termales, ¿eh? Eso.
Wow, también.
Aquí pone eso, edificio de la... Ese, creo que es este, ¿no?
El baño termal, sí. De la gente de dinero.
Por aquí, que es la parte de la gente rica.
Claro, porque abajo, cuando venían de río, los vikingos atacaban abajo y todo lo que mataban abajo, hasta aquí en subían, porque estaba todo fortificado y los gente de dinero pues tenían su gente que...
I've said this before on the vlogs many times, I think. One thing I liked about living in Spain, I like my gardening, I like my houseplants, was growing cactus outside. Now, if you grow cactus without frost in a very sunny climate and you give them plenty of water in the summer, things like this, which should be about 100 plus quid in the UK, they grow that big very, very quickly indeed, compared to on your windowsill at home. So you can grow them from seed here, and in a few years have a lot of big cactus. Just great. A cactus garden outside without them getting killed like mine did last winter. Up here, where the rich people live, the sewage system is, it's like today's vast underground sewage system just there. We're just talking about, the rich people living on the hill, nothing's changed. But then the sewage obviously passes down the hill where the poor people lived. It's a vast site, really vast. If you like history, very interesting. So I like a peaceful poo. That's just the way it is. Look how close they are. Their bum cheeks would be touching. You'd be literally past the sponge to wipe your butt. Oh no, I'll show you what I mean.
Mosaico, bonito, chulo, mira, todo lo que te ponían. Y estaban ahí cagando.
I struggle with that. Oh dear, we've all been wetting ourselves about the whole sponge bum situation. Really, a lot of it is just how we'd have it, I think, with the materials and the tools. The way the houses were, the decorations, it's like I keep saying, I don't think we've changed that much. Just our knowledge. So peaceful. I asked Rafa if it would be like busy in the summer, and he said not really, because it would get too hot. People wouldn't be here long during the summer months. You think in England now, it's such a small island and it's so full that anything to do it tends to be not expensive to get in, and packed with people. Very Spanish, because it doesn't rain here. Only when it does, a lot of electrics trip out. That's a fact, because I used to have to fault find them. So something, we just heard shotguns going off, and there was either red wings or field fares, or I'm not sure, muzzle thrushes, I couldn't tell. I think they were field fares. And Raf said, no, that's what they're shooting. And I said, is that legal here? He said, yeah. Yeah, they can shoot something like 20 to 30 each. I went, a season? He went, no, a day. So, the birds in England have gone because of the change of farming practices, amongst other things, not from hunting. But when you see these low numbers of migratory birds, they're being shot in so many other countries, legally and illegally, en masse. It's tough times. I guess if you're growing olives and those things are eating all your crop, they'd be classed as a pest just like they would in the UK. Just like the beautiful bullfinch was hammered years ago because it ate the buds of apples and pear, plant, what I'm trying to say, the buds of fruit trees. But yeah, there's a lot more birds here than in the UK, I think. Some good, interesting stuff, but even Rafa says when he was a kid, a lot more birds, just like when I was a kid. Demasiado frío.
Es ella, ya no es ella, es ella.
Un momento. So this is the main entrance in on your horse. You can see in the distance the original form.
esto.
We all did this sort of thing at school, didn't we?
Este
Look at
dibujito
that.
bonito estaba ahí en medio.
That's
Lo
crazy,
cogieron,
isn't
lo
it? Think how
levantaron
old
y lo
that is.
llevaron a Sevilla, museo arqueológico.
Think how it'd have to be protected if it was in Britain from all the frost and all the rain, if you were going to preserve it like this sort of for a museum. Yeah, mostly dry. No frost really. Look at that though. Black redstart there, look.
Era solo para él. Mira, este hombre que tiene ahí.
Okay, so the bare patch in the middle, not the corner. This is it, but it's now in the Archaeological Museum in Seville with most of the original artifacts to protect them. Much more simple design. A design we'd have on our tiles probably today in a lot of people's houses, on the floors or even the walls. Same. So these rooms all had, it went on for a long way, all had their own beautifully mosaic covered floors. Once again, it's so peaceful. Bells are ringing in the distance. So peaceful. Wow. Wow. Where are you looking? Wow.
I think this area is called the House of Birds.
Wow. Rafa. Original.
Sí, sí.
See? Wow.
Piedrecita, piedrecita.
Esto es el suelo del romano, lo pegaban dentro y ahí quedaba. Y cada estancia tenía un dibujo distinto.
Wow.
Puzzle.
Rafa. Listen.
Ahí está con dibujitos.
Aquí hay alta.
Aquello de pájaros,
Sí.
el mosaico de los pájaros.
Yo quiero en mi casa.
Un mosaico
ahora.
igual, sí.
Sí, sí.
¿Lo
Bonito.
llevamos?
This is what I want.
Steal it.
English. This is the sort of thing I want in my kitchen, Diggy.
Yeah, sí. Jackie quiere
Proper español.
similar en nuestro cocina nueva.
Está muy bonita.
Similar
Pero
tipo.
En
Español.
Ryanair,
Español.
En la maleta
It's-
Pero era colores muy vivos.
Now, annoyingly, there's a breeze getting up, and I've blooming left the microphone in the car, in my bag. All joking aside, I would have that in my kitchen today. It's a lot of work. This one especially. It's got animals, hasn't it? It's got birds. Okay, I found the one.
It's in perfect condition for me.
Wow.
No, será un aves.
Different species. Someone's very observant, aren't they? They know.
Pheasants, owls, partridge.
En la parte superior derecha ves de una cabeza con pelo largo. No?
Oh, I don't mean this as a Mickey take. If you're blind, I'm presuming this is explaining what you can see, but God, it must be very detailed. Very difficult to comprehend, I guess. Wow. A very expensive hotel.
Noche, night, over 1,000 euros.
€1,000 a night. Suffice to say, we're not staying there. About to cross the river into Seville proper. Sevilla.
¿Vídeo o foto? ¿Vídeo? Está bonito, ¿verdad? Ah, sí, sí.
So that new tower being built is taller than this one in the city limits, and it's not allowed to be built any higher than this structure there. So they've built the tower sort of outside the city limits because it's not permitted to be taller than this. No buildings are permitted to be taller than this one in the city limits. So Rafa tells me this, all these rowers, if that's the right word, are the Norwegian sort of Olympic team, and they spend the winter here in Seville because obviously the water's open. So they've got a whole centre where they eat, live, sleep, and they practice because in Norway it's frozen.
en inglés y de todo.
Famous flamenco bar, if that's your thing. I sound like a right heathen, but Rafa and I are like, well, and Jesus, I think, we like brothers because really, we just want to be in the countryside. Not really townies. So for me, a town day, sightseeing, very interesting. But I'd rather be in a nondescript part of the countryside. So last full day here today. Just having a cup of tea on the balcony. It's still a fiesta day. It's a Monday again. Still a fiesta of the Three Kings. Again they'll be driving driving round at some point today in different zones of the area, different, well, I can't say it in English, different parts of the town with their carnival, throwing presents and millions of sweets out into the streets. Some areas it's during the day, other areas they do it during the night. But we'll never forget being stuck behind by accident the other night behind the carnival. I'll show you the tyres the next morning running over sweets. Oh my god, only I could do something so embarrassing. Anyway, peaceful once again. Nice day today, 17 degrees the high and sunny all day. We're going for a walk. Well, that's the plan. So in the gardens and parks there's tons of blackbirds and tons of robin redbreasts. I think like the UK, these numbers are massively bolstered because it's winter and these are migrating down from Northern Europe. Don't think they're local, but they could be. Black redstarts as well. I'm eating a ham and cheese roll right now. The fiesta's going on. Just off the balcony here are two of my most favourite birds. Absolutely adore hoopoes. And I think a hand-reared baby hoopoe would be the most cutest pet ever. They're just sitting there, I don't know what they're doing. They're just like resting. So in this part of Spain they live all year round, they don't migrate. So they've got beautiful black and white wings, silly long pointed down beaks, for probing for worms and catching grasshoppers and things. I like grubs in the ground and love grasshoppers. And they've got the most daftest crest that they can lift up on the head like a cockatoo. Hard to say, aren't they?
Hmm.
How cute is that? You know what? I think they froze because we came out here. don't know enough about them, but I think that was really bright. White and black's really striking. This one, maybe not as much so. I suppose that's a juvenile or it's a male and female possibly. Now these things here, probably 10 metres away, but we're on full zoom, that's why the quality's down. So obviously they're not very big birds. Look how cute that is. So hoopoe, because their song they're called is hoopoe poo poo poo, hoopoe poo poo poo. Sounds a bit like that anyway. And their nest sites usually holes in trees and cavities in walls and even in houses. It's said to be really stinky. I don't know if that's like a predator defence. Look at them froze again because they can see us if it's moving. I've seen a lot of hoopoes over the years. I've seen them fly ahead when we've spooked them. I've seen them just go about catching giant grasshoppers and bash their heads in right in front of me, but I've never actually observed this sort of freezing behaviour. Wow, look at it's crashed. Something I hadn't actually observed before. Is that sort of freezing like a partridge or something that would? But I think their pattern really does sort of make them hard to see real strikingly divided up outline. Anyway, Jackie and I are going for a walk. See what we see. So for me, it was nice watching the hoopoes doing their thing. I really like them. It's a bit of a debacle, really, because when we was in Toledo a month or so ago, a month ago, it coincided with the pre-Xmas fiestas, and it made our life very hard. Remember, the first day we couldn't even park, within a mile of the hotel. I had to drag our suitcase up the cobbled streets and hills of Toledo.
Although our Spanish friend Jesus, who lives here in Seville, said that Madrid's beautiful, Toledo's beautiful, but you can't park at either place, really.
Yeah, I think it's kind of well known for it, maybe. But we're here again, and it's the Three Kings fiestas. But it's not like it's on tonight. It's kind of on for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, different parts, different. Honestly, so you imagine what it's like when a carnival goes through town, all the road closures, all the car parking, all the hundreds of millions of people. Well, we had the debacle the other night, which I've told you about. Today, we just want to go out and get some packed lunch and walk along the river and explore on our own and just chill out because it's a sunny day today. Annoyingly, I've left my rucksack in Elsie's car, which has got the microphone in with the wind muffler on, so you just can't win on this channel. But we're out and about. We thought we'll pop out first thing and we'll get some packed lunch and some drinks. It's a Monday. It's basically as closed as Christmas Day in the UK. Everything's closed. Masses of traffic all going to the next carnival, which is on this morning apparently, not at night. Absolutely crazy. And then, I can't believe the wind noise, I'm so sorry. And then, we're in all this traffic, we're trying to find just any shop that will sell us any kind of food and drink at all. All the supermarkets are shut, even though they said they were open on Google, of course. The little Fiat Panda, and electrical problems, decides all its warning lights are going to come on. It's going to flash like a Christmas tree. No speedo, no electrics much, but it does carry on running, not on limp mode, and it has started, so hopefully it'll get us to the airport tomorrow. But you really don't want a hire car breaking down when you're on holiday. Anyway, we're heading down to the river. We'll see what we see. That's the moaning over for now.
The morning or the moaning?
Both. The size of these eucalypts. Very Australian. I've had a lot of rain last night, so obviously washed a lot of sort of debris and scum. There's some fish feeding there, but the water's really dirty. Can you see them? Look at that. Imagine they're carp. They look a reasonable size. The big males up, but I don't know. So we're going up away from the river now. Some of these plants, not the rocks, but the general feel. The damp, wet ground from last night and the cool air. Could be anywhere now, just somewhere up in the Derbyshire Dales. Just slightly different plant growth. Very much that kind of feel. For sure. Leaving the sound of the river, heading uphill. It's got a bit warm now. Jackie's took her coat off.
Yeah, really warm.
But look at that. town's back in the distance. Whoa. The river's right down there, and we're walking up a hill, much to Jackie's disgust, and we're trying to we're walking around to find the other side of the river, back through the park, so we can do, in the wind without the microphone, another loop. So if you've only holidayed in Spain in summer for the beach and the sun and pools and that, you probably remember it not being green like this. Winter and spring is the time to see it green. Certainly what we'd call an early spring in the UK is a time to see a lot of countryside flowers. I've seen a few already so far, but it's just such a picture, because obviously at home everything's grey, freezing cold and miserable and snowy and dead. Here, the weeds or the wildflowers already looking great. Look at them looking at the sun. And you wouldn't be seeing a clouded yellow butterfly in the UK right now. Lots more gum trees. These have been grown hundreds of years in Spain for the wood. Probably something else, but definitely for the wood. Quite quick growing. I think they're quite thirsty. Look at that, in the distance. The town. Olive groves and farmlands and cock-a-doodle doing. So I'm right at the outside edge of a little spinney, I guess. The sunny side. It's hot, so it's like, you know, it's hot through your t-shirt. I've got 2 t-shirts on, a thin top on. Slightly hot walking. Definitely be some snakes out today, just catching a bit of winter sun. Almost definitely. There's a rooster out. It does look quite snaky. Maybe not enough rocks, or loose big rocks. The thing is, it might be midwinter, but this sort of temperature, everything's a bit quick by this time of day, mid-afternoon, early afternoon. They're quick and I'm blind. So I'm most likely going to see a reptile if it moves, and of course then it's way too late. Big grasshopper. Let me know if you see anything. So if, like me, you like your unusual house plants and your unusual garden plants, look at these. See if I can get it to... Look at that. Wow. How unusual are they? What a great rockery plant. Lemonette, look at that. Little triffids, look. Oh, look at that. Certainly in the spring. How beautiful does that look? How reptile-y does it look? Facing the sun.
It'd be nice to have a little farm down there, wouldn't it?
God, a little house, little casita. Look at that, castle in the distance.
Look at this plant, because I thought it actually had caterpillars, but it's not, it's the petals, isn't it?
Yeah. Said it a zillion times now, but it's so peaceful. There's no one anywhere. Only in the town. Big, busy town, really. But just on the outskirts, just campo. Loads of countryside. Let's keep going. Do there. Jackie straight away. There's our house. That suits us. Not unlike our house, really. Not far to drive into town for everything you need. But on the other sort of side, it is just countryside, parkland, countryside, birds, reptiles, insects. It's even got a pool, which you definitely need here in the summer months. I reckon we'll live there for 6 months of winter and we'll go back to England for 6 months. Maybe from sort of May onwards, when it all gets nice and beautiful in England. We'll just see if we've got enough loose change to buy that for the other months. I've just run into the back of Jackie, who's suddenly stopped to say, look at this hill. So if you've ever been to Northamptonshire, I can tell you now, it's not flat like a lot of, say, Norfolk. But it's there's not many hills like this. So as much as we do a lot of walking, it absolutely kills us. The burn on your legs. Hang on, you're going a slower route. Jackie's avoided the hill. I didn't say, oh, good idea. I thought we were going up there. This is okay. Yeah, if you're from Yorkshire or somewhere, you just won't understand what we're talking about. But even if you think you're fit and you don't walk on hilly country and then you do, my God, it done half burn. I've gone in quite a circle, not as big a circle as we thought, because look where we are. Back at the pretty pine tree, having a rest from our legs. Those cormorants. Feeding in the river, just like in the UK. We tried to circle to end up on the other side of the river, but the river went away from us big time across private land for sure. Whatever they can find. Things like snails as well. Lots of old water mills, as you've already seen earlier. Just saying to Jackie, it's weird, isn't it? Like, this was brand new once. Brand new working building. We saw those Roman ruins. This is obviously a hell of a lot more modern, but still hundreds of years ago now. But it was weird, isn't it? People were working away. People were building it. Once upon a time. I bet there's a few geckos around here in the summer nights. I honestly thought Jackie had gone behind that bush then for a wee. There's another door. Old fig tree. Wow. I imagine the sort of place you'd get things like wheatears and black redstarts nesting. Possibly hoopoes in some of the big gaps in the walls. So just like in the UK, these brownfield sites are often actually more rich in nature than just bare, open, cultivated, chemically treated farmland in the countryside. And back out we go, down towards the river and the park. Look at these celandines, the size of them. A lot bigger than the ones we get in early spring in England. Beautiful though, eh? I've got a small one of these that I pinched from Spain years ago. Kept it in a little pot. The old American agaves have huge flower spikes. Maybe every 50 years, then the main plant dies. And those flower spikes are quite stiff poles and quite light. It's often used in some of the old country houses, part of the roofing beams. Look at them, savage though. So we just saw a young couple fishing. Lovely to see, fishing away down by the river. And just as we walked past, they caught an Iberian barbel, so similar to our barbel. So we had a quick look at that, have a look, took a quick snap. They were really friendly. As mostly said, it's mostly they catch carp and barbel in here, but it is a different species of barbel. Pretty much similar though. Early afternoon now and there's people out walking, but not many. Again, look. Look. Again, very peaceful. And it's famous here for the very yellow Amarillo sort of soft stone. Looks like limestone to me, but very sandstone in colour. And Elsie tells me the stone from here was mined to make to build the bull rings even as far as Mexico because of its bright yellow colour. Hello. Yuck. I thought that was a really interesting wood pigeon. Time for a can of pop. We can sit on there, yeah. Gosh, it's so warm now. What's going on down there, look. Oh, it's as warm now as a really decent, not a 30-degree day, but a really nice summer's day in the UK. Tortoiseshell. See if I can get nearer. So is it a painted lady? Painted lady. There it goes. So the time we've sat here, showing you that painted lady, I don't know, 10 minutes? Not even that. Had some crisps and a drink. The temperatures, look at the sky. A bit like being in England. Literally, it was blue sky everywhere. It was baking hot like the best summer's day. Now it's, a bit chilly. It's clouded up and the breeze got pretty cold just now. Better not rain. So we were saying earlier, people probably go, oh, you're away again. Actually, I know people say to us, oh, you're away again. I've been to Norfolk. No, we've been to Toledo, and then we went to see the Spanish Sky Trails, the falconry. And then we had a little break just after Christmas, wasn't it? My Christmas present in Norfolk. And then we're away again just for all the work starts in January. But I think there are quite a lot of people that, all the sun's out, that we go away, you know, they do a package holiday. So it's quite an ordeal. It's quite a big thing in the year, and it's probably quite expensive. The reason we get to pop away a lot is A, they're mostly mini breaks, and B, Jackie sorts out hotels where we want to go, looks at different hotel prices, books them separate, looks around for flights, car hire at the airport in Spain. If it's normally, or so we book it before we come, but from the airport, it's usually really cheap, to be honest, unless you want something really flash. Don't get a Fiat Panda. Turns out they're pants and plagued with electrical problems. Not what you want on your holiday, but if you do it yourself and a bit of experience, whether it's Australia, Norfolk, Spain, if you do it all yourself like Jackie does, it's more tailored to your times, what you need, where you're flying from, and also much, much cheaper, of course. Green woodpecker on that tree. It's looking at us. Look. That's his head. Yeah, it's looking at us. There he goes. Classic woodpecker flight. So we're near the sports area outside the park, and this is a big swimming pool area. And you might think, oh, look how dirty it is. Well, if you only go to Spain on your holidays in the summer, what you wouldn't realise is if you jump in there now, it's like an absolute block of ice. Have tried it, freezing cold. So it's just left. There's chlorine in there, the water's clear, but all the muck will be hoovered out and it'll all be spruced up again, ready for action in the spring. No one is swimming here at this time of year. No matter how hot it is in the day, that water is bloody icy. So there's agaves there, variegated, a bit more ornamental. They're big, some of them are a few feet tall for sure. But we've just gone, there's all the parkland. We're just skirting the edge of town now. So Alcalá de Guadalajara, I can't say it properly. It's like a, I don't know, an outskirt town, quite industrial. Very close to Seville, Sevilla.
¿Qué es una la harina?
La Harinera del Guadalajara. Jackie, you'll have to look that one up.
Flour mill.
Oh, well, blow me down. Flour mill, Harinera. Don't even know if I said that right. A little spring. Certainly has some rain in the night, it is pretty muddy. Well, for here anyway. Got your coat back on?
I've had it on since we started walking.
Have you?
Yeah, not hot, not cold.
No. This is cooler though now. Susan. Susan. Morning glory. Fana. So I did say earlier about the water level and the flooding and the rain they've had, and the fact that their sewage systems obviously overflow and flood the rivers just like the UK. Wow. Look where Jackie's feet are. And look how high the water must have come. That's ridiculous. It's like 20 feet higher than it is now. Bit minging though, isn't it? Looks like trees full of wet wipes and panty liners. I think this is I know we get castor oil plants as pets, as houseplants. I think that's called a castor oil plant, but it's a very Mediterranean type of sort of small tree. It has funny little spiky seed pods. Lots of little warblers and things lurking in there. Right on edge of town, look. Wow. Looks nice, wouldn't want to drink it. So loads of morning glory covering the whole bank there, just the bank. Look at that bank though. All netted to stop it falling on your head. Wow, look at that. That's what you call an overhang. Oh, blimey. Above it the road, literally. Another old water mill down here, look. Jackie's got bored of me filming a money spider. Look at that. Jackie loves the views, she loves the countryside. She likes looking at the plants and the flowers. But she gets a bit bored if I start turning over rocks and looking for stuff to catch. Look at this. Wow, so lots and lots of old mills, water mills along the river here. Black cat. Oh, there it goes. No idea. So we're looking for a bridge now to take us back over the river, back to the side of the river that our hotel's on. So here's interesting, a lot of the local television is saying the present we want for this region for the new year is people picking up their dog poo. A bit like the 1970s in places. Not everywhere, but some parts we've been to. Pretty bad. Look at that. Because Jackie's paying attention. He said, look, we can get down and across here where the mill is, so we'll go have a look. Hot again now, 2 seconds later. Looks like this spring's seen its better day. Uh-oh, I think Jackie's idea is probably not the best one she's had. I don't think I'm going to get wet feet for anyone. No, Jackie, it'll be really slippery. Yes, it'll be very slippery and you'll slip. It's not okay. Oh, for God's sake. What sort of, I don't know if they're grey or yellow wagtails, hard to pick up, but a little bit slippery on the leaves. One of the grey wagtail, white wagtail around there, I don't know which one, there's a lot of species and subspecies, or there certainly used to be. You're not there yet. Well, I'll keep filming. We need something viral. Oh God. Okay. Oh, for God's sake. Whoa. Oh, flipping heck. Where did you go? It's like pick the less deepest route. Oh, for goodness sakes. Look at these. Just realised we're on old millstones. Wow, that is absolute like a skating rink. Jesus crikey. It's a massive deep bloody hole there and it's absolute... Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I need 2 hands just in case I fall. Oh, that was really slippery. Wow, I made it. Look at this cactus. Whew. Look at that. Oh, I've got these, make excuses. These shoes are mega slippy on anything sort of wet, even a school hall that's just being mopped. I look like I'm on ice. So excuse me, that twitchy moment there. But yeah, look at that. Look how many old millstones they've used to line this walkway a very, very long time ago. Right, if I get to the last bit without falling. Yes. That could have been embarrassing. Right. Onward and upward.
Yeah, I saw them.
Yeah. Too busy looking where you're going. Wow. Look at that. Looks like somewhere it'd be great for bats to live for sure. It's a lot darker than it looks in there. You probably can't hear beyond the wind noise because we're on top of the ridge. Remember this morning, all the fiestas, the carnival, that was a few hours ago. I don't know if you can still hear it. It's still going on. They certainly have stamina for a party, the old Spanish. So I thought it was worth walking back here with the sun out, see if that horseshoe whip snake, pretty sure it was, I only saw it briefly as it slithered down and disappeared down there on the first hour we were here. But you never know. Creatures of habit, but it's probably had a bit of sun today and gone back underground. Would have been a nice way to end the walk though. Never easy finding snakes when you're looking for them. We're back at the hotel having a well-earned drink for sure. What a lovely, lovely afternoon we've had. Walking in the Spanish parks, countrysides along the river. Because of the fiesta, we've come back to a hotel that's been absolutely empty for days, to the bar and restaurant. It's absolutely heaving. So we're sitting outside in the sun. They're all sitting in there. Looks like we've had the best of the day. I don't know if you can see the edge of that rainbow. Look at that. Despite the forecast being definitely sunny all day and no rain today, it does look a little bit ominous, doesn't it? Nearly 4 o'clock. Time for a siesta maybe. And some more food later. Sad day tomorrow. All changed tomorrow. Back to Blighty. Just so much work will begin. That's Christmas definitely over then. Oh, it's our last night here. We've just had a lovely meal at a restaurant we've eaten at 3 times now. With our brilliant friends.
You happy?
See? See? Look at that. Always sad, your last day somewhere. So we finished the night at a local nightclub, drinking way too much whiskey. And I was going to say, the streets are empty, except him or her. But, wow, almost done.
I don't know if it works or not. You put your coins in there. I wonder how old that is.
So that's it, we've checked out from the hotel. We're going to go spend an hour with our friends. Gosh, we're going to miss this Andalusian climate, especially when we've looked at our phones and we can see what's going on at home. Oh my goodness me, that's cold. It is so nice here. It is so nice. Yeah, having to work. You guys that don't have to work, envy you a lot.